Did you know that law enforcement officers can take away your private property without charging you with a crime? It's true, and it happens all the time. Every year, federal and state agents seize huge amounts of property and assets from individuals simply by asserting that it's linked to illegal activity. The value of assets seized in this way has ballooned from $407 million in 2001 to $4.3 billion in 2012. So what's going on here? Let's ask CBS News legal analyst Rikki Klieman. Rikki, good morning.
Good morning.
One example we have here is of a Philadelphia couple whose home was seized after their son made $40 worth of drug sales on the porch. How's that possible?
Well, it's possible because the laws have made it possible. I think we need to distinguish between what this is and what this isn't. When we talk about criminal forfeiture, we can all understand that. The easiest example I can give you is last year we talked about Whitey Bulger's case for quite some time. When Mr. Bulger was convicted, they moved in the criminal courts to forfeit his property that was hidden in the walls, the guns and the money in Santa Monica. That we understand. What happens here in civil forfeiture is that it is a crime that they say may have been attached to the property. The property may have been connected to some crime. And so the government goes after the property, not after the person.
It's led to some really interesting cases in terms of like the United States versus thousands of shark fins and other interesting items. What I found interesting about this is also you don't necessarily get a lawyer in this case. You are responsible for the legal fees and you're responsible for paying all the court fees.
There's really a disadvantage to the person whose property is seized. First of all, the property gets taken. So then the burden goes on the person to say, hey, wait, I want my property back. I wasn't engaged in any kind of activity, and certainly my property wasn't. So that person has to go to court. That person has to pay for a lawyer. That person has to face a burden of proof that is very little. The burden of proof is preponderance of the evidence. That's like a little feather on the scale.
Much lower than criminal cases.
Much lower than beyond a reasonable doubt in criminal cases. And so what we have here is this juxtaposition. Let me give you good work done by seizure and bad work done by seizure. Obviously, the bad work done by seizure is the easy one, the $40 drug sale and the house goes. Good work done by seizure could be this. We can look at for the idea of a neighborhood. People call all the time and say, there's prostitution in my neighborhood. Get these prostitutes out of here. The police go. As soon as the police leave, prostitutes come back. So then what happens is the police go ahead and make sure that it's legal to go and look for civil forfeiture and say, hey, we're going to take those cars that belong to the Johns. And now the person says, well, I was going to go get that prostitute, but I don't want to lose my Mercedes.
But here's my issue, Rikki, is, how do you do this without ever securing a conviction?
It's because we have had an expansion of civil forfeiture laws since 1984. Federally, where we see them having to do with drugs, with money laundering, also with Racketeering Influence Corruption Act, which is, of course, RICO. But the states have gotten more and more laws. And what has happened is people are criticizing now because they look at it as the possibility of policing for profit and not for public safety. And that's not a good thing.
We should say, though, some of the money that has been taken from these forfeitures has been used for good things like rape kit backlog. So
well, the Cy Vance aspect, Cy Vance is the district attorney in Manhattan. Cy Vance took $35 million from a settlement. So it's a civil settlement, forfeited funds by the largest bank in France. He's taken $35 million, using it for New York and then everywhere else to then alleviate backlog and rape cases.
So that's
fabulous. Fabulous.
Rikki Klieman, thank you so much.
Thank you.